Hello, everybody. Welcome back from the break. When we left our heroes, they had uncovered the sinister secret of Madame Maisel's meat pies. They
I
are
hate you.
really, really bad meat pies. They investigated the drug den Rancid Randy's that they had previously raided, and in that previous adventure, they realized they'd basically been baited into taking it over on behalf of the local Brampton Kingpin Diamond Urchin. And they checked in on that. They found that it is in the process of being overhauled and taken over and put under new management. That process should be done in a day or two. Then they made their way to Insight Park. But along the way, they have a curious encounter. I would like Darius to roll 1d10. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You hear the sound of hard steps hitting stone. The origin of the sound, and the folks in the street around you are sort of looking around curiously. The origin of the sound is hard to place. It's bouncing between buildings and occasionally fading as if it's moving further away. Please roll perception checks.
Both of
By the
us
way,
or just Darius?
Both
Do
of
you
you.
mind putting us on the map somewhere? I'm sure we're maybe past Rancid Randy's. Where are we right now?
Yeah, I'll put you down. There. Yeah, but everyone's allowed to roll perception checks. A 9 for Umbarto, 15 for Darren, the White Hawk of Kionthar.
Do we need to roll for Rhea?
No, you're good for the time being.
Okay.
You hear faint yelling and a strange low sound, kind of like
It's a stampede. Freaking cows,
it?
man.
Where's it coming from, mate?
It's
Hard to
very
tell.
it's very difficult to tell what direction it's coming from.
Could it be coming from the sewers?
No.
And okay. I'm gonna move to a position where if there were, let's say, a stampede,
Mm-hmm.
I could quickly get out of the way.
I would
Like-
actually like to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'd like to scale a nearby building and
Mhm.
see if I can get a better vantage point. And I want Darren to circle overhead and see if he can pinpoint where it's coming from.
Okay. Roll a athletics or acrobatics check.
I'm gonna do that kip up between the walls.
Yep. Hut, 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 hut. Easy. You jump all
Can I
the
have
way
Darren
up.
Make a follow-up perception check to see
Yeah.
if he sees anything.
Absolutely. He goes airborne and he sees them. They're headed right towards you. They'll be here in a minute.
Where are they?
Cows.
Okay, so he was right. Are they coming like down this way or like from across over here?
They're coming from the north. It
Or
like
north going on
also
down?
there's a law in Baldur's Gate that nothing larger than a peacock is allowed in the city in terms of
You
animals.
mentioned that, yeah.
Yes.
When I get up on there and Darren helps point them out to me, do I see like what our chosen one was worried about? Is it a stampede or is it
Yeah.
just like one cow? Oh,
There are it's a herd of 7 cows. They are stampeding down the street in a wild panic. There is a young girl rushing after them, screaming words of warning to everybody.
oh gosh. Okay.
Can you? I mean, I imagine you can't, but if you can see the brand and you can tell who they
No,
belong to.
no,
okay.
absolutely not.
Could I possibly, just because I know that normally this is not a hawk thing, and I know that normally this is more like a not that cows can't be domesticated, but this is more like a sheep thing. But could I try to see if I could have Darren make an animal handling check to kind of try and hawk sheepdog his way to like corralling these things, at least somewhere that isn't going to be like through carts and people's belongings and things like that?
If that's not one of his proficient skills, I'm going to say no. And I'm pretty sure it's not one of his
No.
proficient skills.
Animal handling is not one of his.
Yeah,
proficient
I'm going to
skills.
say no. Even though he probably has a higher modifier, he's not large enough. He doesn't have the skill set, the hands, etc. to do that.
This would be a crow's end thing, just kind of rocking up, grabbing a horn, and stopping the whole thing.
And just, you know,
Um,
ugh.
I'm not prepared for this. I I'd like to help. I just don't really. Okay, you know what? What I'll do is I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna look around and see if I can spot any big carts or any like barrels lying around. Something that would be like big enough to like maybe cause these things to calm down and not just break through it.
Mm-hmm. Generally speaking, a large obstacle isn't going to cause him to calm down. It's more likely to cause him to panic and say, "Oh no, I've been trapped." Moo.
That's what I mean. But hopefully it'll if they kind of stall in, if I
Mm-hmm.
can divert them into an alley and there's a giant old, building or wall in that alley, they got nowhere to go, they might cool down, especially if something imposing kind of goes up from behind them and seems kind of
Mm-hmm.
threatening. They may just charge again. They may cool out there and go, we were worried, but now we're kind of corralled. I'm kind of hoping for something like
Is
that is my
is there a
plan.
gate or a exit to the city that we can direct them towards? Redirect
going-
them?
Well, the
They're going
closest
south.
gate is Cliff Gate, and Cliff Gate doesn't even like really. You could walk them all the way over Dusthawk Hill. There is a road that leads from Cliff Gate to
I mean,
Twin
but if we just
Songs,
let
but
them out at that point, then their owner can re-corral them.
Mhm.
You know,
Hey, regardless of the success of it, my question still stands. Are there things nearby that I could use to try and block off a path and corral them into an alley?
you could do your best to try to accomplish that.
I ask Umberto if he's cool with it and trying to help me with that, since as one man, I don't know if I can pull off what I'm trying.
yes, but I will also shout and be loud and try to clear the street
Okay, roll
to
intimidation.
keep
know what?
people alive. You know.
You clear the street. I'll get Rhea to help me move stuff.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go. Yeah.
Right
she's
stuff.
smart.
All right, so you
So
grab
I'm
some
gonna
like
be doing like a run,
pallets.
everyone get clear. You know, and
Mhm.
and trying
Like
to.
if someone has a cart full of fruit, I want to pull the cart full of fruit.
my
My
cabbages.
Anything that I can use to try and be big and like make a barrier to make it look like they're not going to be able. If these are bulls, they would just crash through it. But if they're
Oh,
cows,
come on.
they
Mhm.
might, they might go, hey, can't go there. And I want to try and divert them into like a strong, tight alley.
Okay, roll just a flat intelligence check and a flat wisdom check. I'll let you use both of those.
Either or both.
Both.
Okay, I'll do both. This will not go well.
Okay.
Oh, you said intelligence, but it still stands. But let
Yeah,
me just,
it's flat, right?
sorry.
Because you're not proficient, right?
Nope.
All right. Okay.
That was a good plan.
That's not
Yes!
bad. That's not bad. All right. So you managed to. A couple of people ignore Umbarto as he says, "There are cows coming. Please move." And
Could I switch that to persuasion instead and try
Yeah.
that, or
yeah, you can do
Yeah,
a persuasion check to
much
like.
more
Like,
persuasive than I
guys,
am?
there's cows. No, seriously, there's cows coming. If you don't move, you're going over.
The surly Brampton crowd ignores you until 7 wild-eyed cows come charging down the street, and then they just duck for cover. I'm gonna roll a couple of checks just to see.
How many people are dead?
Yep. I'm gonna do 3 checks. All right. So most of the people get out of the way, but there are 2 people in danger of being crushed. Otherwise, it looks like your strategy is working. Can either of you help those people not be crushed?
How?
No, you go.
Yeah, I will try to. Can I do cantrips?
Yeah, you can
Or
do
anything?
cantrips.
I'd like to make a big flashy bangy boom over the bodies to make the cows avoid them
Okay.
and not step on them as they go over.
Okay, roll an
um,
Arcana check.
Come on!
Good news! Using your sparky boom boom magic, you successfully startle the cows, changing their course
Into the other guy.
away from the trap and continuing to rampage through the city.
No, wait, hold on a second. Can I try and back that up? I had a thing too.
What do you have?
My thought, and again, maybe this ruins it entirely and it's screwed anyway. But what I wanted to do was to get, again, I know that he's not proficient in animal handling, but he can make a distraction. I was going to, above the 2 people that were in danger, have Darren swoop down and just like from the angle that I want them to like go. So he would approach from the opposite angle, try and like swing in, and not a lethal strike, but have him just whap into the head of one of them and try and veer them off course.
All
My
right.
hope is that the two that are in danger at the front of the pack, and I can throw a non-lethal dagger, like the hilt of a dagger, and he can
Or
do
a
that to
rock.
try and,
You could use a rock.
or a rock. There you go, and try and basically get the front of the pack to veer the way that I want them to go by positioning myself on the opposite way, having the danger come from over here, go this way into the
Got
traffic,
it.
you know?
Okay. Roll an intimidation check, and then if that fails, roll an attack roll.
Okay, I listen. I do. Here's the thing. I'm wondering, would I be able to make an intimidation check with my dexterity instead of my charisma, since I'm using my skills and not my
Cows
personality?
don't respect skills; they respect.
The reason I'm asking is I'm proficient with intimidation, but whatever you want me to do, I'm good for.
Yeah, I'll allow that. You're still being intimidating, but you're shocking them by changing their environment in a major way using your skill set.
Popping out from behind a barrel, not standing in the middle
Boogity
of the street
boogity.
growling.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna roll acrobatics, but it's my intimidation, just because they're both the same.
Okay.
20.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. You managed to swoop down, save the lives of the civilians caught in the blast radius of the cows, and startle them so much that they don't calm down, but like they're contained. They stop running around.
Oh, thank God.
They circle like wildebeest. Yeah.
Yep. As Chad has already pointed out, Saya, the herd is on the move. All right.
And then from there, once we put them in the alley, I'd like to have Rhea take one of the biggest items she can and just push it in the front. And I'll jump up on top of it and look as imposing as possible to kind of, well, no, not imposing. I'll try and calm them down. Actually, no. Once she pushes it in the way, I'm going to rush that girl that was on their tail and say, hey, how do we calm these sows down? Let's go. Figure
Sows.
this out. Darius doesn't know common tongue of
He didn't grow up on a farm. All right. She runs up. Oh, you stopped them. Oh, thank the gods. Oh, I am so much trouble right now.
You're screwed, lady, but let's calm them down. What do we do?
I got this. And she goes up and hush, 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 hush. She does her thing. Now that you've contained them enough that she's able to get them under control.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'm going to inquire. What are these? I'm sure I'm going to read off due to Section 5, Article 15 of the, Baldurian contract. You're about to bring anything larger than a peacock into the city. What are 7 steers doing here?
I was bringing them around in Stony Eyes. I couldn't bring them into the city, so I was trying to see if any of the butchers there would take them. And then 2 of the gate guards at the Basilisk Gate were yelling and waving their arms really loud, and the cows just spooked and ran through the gate, and I couldn't stop them.
I'm going to incite that. Not that I don't believe her, but I don't believe
her. Yeah, she's telling the truth.
I believe her, yeah.
And
totally.
And apparently, the cows flattened the guards so much that she was able to slip in past them, even though everything's on lockdown. Because the gate was open to let Flaming Fist personnel pass through. And so she's not trying to infiltrate the city. She's trying to stop the cows before, she gets the death penalty for cow-related destruction.
Can we escort her out of the cliff gate and tell her you have to just take the path over the hill, or you have to walk around the outside of the city. Get these goddamn cows out of here. But we're not gonna arrest you. Just get out now. And keep your cows.
I also want to ascertain who was it. Is it just her and these 7 cows? Who was with her? Where did she come from? She wanted to sell them at the Basilisk Gate. Is she from around here? What's going on?
Yeah, she's from the outer city. She's just bringing her. She works with one of the smaller slaughterhouses, and she was just bringing her herd to market essentially.
So these are butcher cows.
Yeah, they were being brought to market to kill.
Oh, okay. Here's the thing. I kind of flash her my Flaming Fist badge and go, look, here's the thing, girl, you're in a lot of trouble. But we can make this go away for you. You want to just get back out where you want to go and you want to sell these cows, right? So here's what's going to happen. And I don't know how much cows are worth. However, I do know that both Kevin and Robert and Umbarto were at the Basilisk Gate. They were helping out with that horse sickness. And maybe they overheard what the going rate for some of these animals goes. What I want to try and do is help her help us help Maisel, and I want to see if I can, at a discount, buy these cows and usher them over to Madame Maisel's to butcher and have like actually good meat pies.
Well, Madame Maisel is not a butcher herself.
Madame Maisel, I'm sure,
You
has
still
a
need to get into
cleaver,
the butcher.
and this stuff is better than, you know, squirrels.
No, I
So,
mean, but like
all the
slaughtering a
butchers.
cow is a lot of work, and she will not be able to do it.
See, I have it on good authority from a friend of mine that you can skin and tan a tiger in 3 minutes flat. So
if you know what you're doing, if you are a trained tiger skinner,
No,
which
you can't.
congratulations,
That's not
she
a
is
thing.
not.
I would say we send her out the gate and tell her to get these cows to market now. You know, and if the Flaming Fist wants to prosecute, they can do that. But let's get these cows out of here.
Well, here's the thing.
Gate.
I don't want to get her prosecuted, Umberto, and I feel like you're stepping all over my idea here, which is fine. It's totally.
Well, the thing
It
is,
makes
like,
us not look like a cohesive unit, but that's okay. I didn't check with you either.
I was just thinking, like, the fastest, the best way to not get her prosecuted is to get her out of the city, like right now, because and the closest gate is Cliff Gate, so that's the only thing I'm thinking is.
I
like,
totally get you,
them
but
out.
here's my thought. We had a woman charging into Eastway with a bunch of cows, accidentally, but probably not in terms of how they're going to look at it. Went charging through Eastway and then Brampton, and now there is a woman just outside of the Cliff Gate going along the edges of Baldur's Gate to get back into Stony Eyes with a bunch of cows. Oh no, mister, I'm not the same lady that just charged in with a bunch of cows. Please don't prosecute me. She needs to offload these cows now and sneak out where she's not a woman with a bunch of cows.
I mean, 7 dead cows. You can't, like, you need like a cart. You need like a bunch of stuff to carry that, and butchering them here would be a huge mess.
I absolutely didn't say that at all. You're misinterpreting what I said. We get the cows back up to Madame Maisel's. I'm not sure if you know this. There's an entire empty building full of terribly desecrated animals, and we say, "Hey, we're
Maisel can't handle the cows either." Like,
you're making a lot of assumptions about a lady that just puts wheat and meat and water inside of her meat pies here.
That's exactly the point. Is like she definitely can't handle them. Then, you know.
Then my idea is, if that's not the case, in order to get this girl not in trouble, she cannot leave here with these cows. She needs to go a different way than the cows go. Where do you want the cows to go? Because escorting her or having her go out this way is going to end in her getting caught. And
can she go along the river to Twin Songs and then Southfoot? There's slaughterhouses up in Southfoot.
Here's the thing.
And we know the butcher's place. But
this is a long way. And by the way, there's a bunch of giant enemy crabs along the river veins and wandering out to sea. You are saying you're going to send this girl with 7 cows that were just supposed to just go to Stony Eyes and die there. You want to send her all the way around the longest path in Outer City to try and get these cows somewhere. And all the while, she is on a level 2 wanted level for breaking into the city. That's what she did. By accident, she broke into the city. I know you're not from around here, Umberto. You don't really get the laws of how Baldur's Gate works. I know that you don't really agree with a lot of it. I am looking out for this girl. She needs to dump this cargo now and just get out. I'm trying to get her a little coin, and I'm trying to help somebody. Yes, maybe Madame Maisel doesn't keep all the cows. Maybe a lot of it goes bad. But you know what? I think that rotten cow meat is a lot better than rotten squirrel meat. You know what I'm getting at here? There's a lot of people that can benefit from this, or one person can suffer greatly.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying?
Joe, do you think Maisel could even like handle just 4 or 7 dead cows? Like, do you think she could do anything with that?
If she has contacts of any sort. By herself, no. If the idea is literally just make this Maisel's problem and make it not your problem anymore, dumping the cows on her would work. It would not be an efficient solution for her, but it would work. And like, they wouldn't go completely to waste.
No, exactly. Like I tell Umberto, she's got a sack full of, I think, rats. There might have been a human arm in there. I'm not really sure. And a lot of squirrels. She has a lot of not good to work with. Even for 2 days before this goes bad, she has some, cow meat. If you feel super altruistic, go to the Lost Treasures of the South, buy her a bag of salt, and just dump the salt all over the meat and see if that helps.
It couldn't hurt.
Is there anywhere in Tumbledown that the cows could hang out for a day?
Yeah, there's plenty of space. There's definitely space out there. You could pay somebody like, here, get rid of these cows for me.
Yeah, hold on. Or even just her and the cows lay low for a day and then make their way back to where they were going to go, right?
Yeah, you could do that.
I think that sounds and then that way she keeps her cows. She gets them to market safely. She stays safe. She's out of the city. The cows are out of the city. Everyone wins.
So wait, you're trying to have her hide in Tumbletown, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just with the cows for like one day. Just hang out in Tumbletown for one day with the cows.
So you're gonna pack all the cows into someone's living room for a whole day and say, "No, officer, no cows here."
Just panic them outside. The fist doesn't go outside the city anyway.
Not entirely accurate.
But these days, you do know that they have been pretty much like they're not really doing a very good job of patrolling the outer city at all because of the refugee crisis. They're basically holing up, which is why every single time you guys are like, "Hey, can the Flaming Fist do anything?" I go, "No."
No, but there's been a couple of times we've gone through Stony Eyes when you said there's no Flaming Fist, and then we ran into Flaming Fist making a patrol. I'm just saying it happens. But if the DM is saying it won't be a problem, take them to Tumbletown, fine. I don't want to deal with this too much. I'm just trying to help the girl not get thrown in jail.
Yeah, if you had a way to get these to the Butcher Boys, then your whole plan of helping Madame Maisel suck less would be effective. But there's literally no butcher shops inside the city because no big animals are allowed inside the city. So there's like no area set up to do it.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Is there a little urchin around here I can pay to send a message for me?
Yeah, the nice thing about Baldur's Gate, there's always a little urchin around you can pay to send a message.
I send an urchin to head over to Joplin's, tell a nice man by the name of Clem Josso that we have a contact to get the Butcher Boys some meat. They need to do it quickly and quietly, and they're to meet. What's your name, honey?
Sylvie.
Sylvie. Meet Sylvie somewhere in Tumbledown. Just go to Tumbledown. You'll see a paddock with a bunch of cows, 7 in fact. Get them quietly to your butcher house, butcher them. You get half, then deliver the other half to Madame Maisel.
All right. Are you gonna? That message will cost you a silver to pass that along.
Bam, got it.
Drop that off.
I would say we have.
Why am I helping Madame Maisel? Why am I doing this? You know what? No, bring the meat back to frickin' Joplin's. Screw that. Screw Madame Maisel. They get to keep half the meat. We can keep half the meat.
And I would say they pay half market price for the cows. To the girl, to Sylvie.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to ask this girl, how much are these cows worth?
Market is 10 gold per head.
10 gold per head. Okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you 10 gold, and you're not going to jail. So you're getting something for these cows.
That's what I was thinking. Is like the cow. We pay half price for the cows.
No, I'm giving her 10 gold. Nope, I'm giving her 10 gold.
So 10's fine. Yeah,
I'm buying one, getting 6 for free. You're not going to jail. Take your gold, and you're not getting a huge fine, and you're not going to jail. Trust me, this is the best thing that can happen to you.
I agree.
And where do you hang out? You hang out in Stony Eyes?
Mm-hmm.
I will try to find you, and I'll see what I can do about making this up to you later on. But right now, I can't deal with this. I have other things going on. So I hand her 10 gold. Take these cows over and get them set up in Tumbledown, and wait there until one of the Butcher Boys comes to get you.
Do we need to give her gold to get her set up in Tumbledown?
I'm going to give her an extra 2 gold.
Okay. Well, let me say, I need to write this down.
Is she accepting this, by the way, mate? Is she pushing back on this at all?
She's pretty crestfallen because this is a massive loss. But you're also right that she doesn't want to go to jail. She does not want to go to the shrimp hole over this. So it's going to financially, it's the Tiger King meme. I'm never going to financially recover from this, but it is better than what was going to happen to her.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Like maybe half price for the head would be like a good thing. But if we can't do that, that's fine. That's fine.
You're looking at 35 gold, Umbarto.
I know that's a lot. That's a lot.
The orphans could have that gold. Do you want to give gold to this girl who made a mistake?
I was thinking maybe we asked the Butcher Boys. They're still getting half price on 7 head of cattle. Like, that's a good deal,
Yeah, but they're having to come all the way up to Tumbledown, do it.
That's true.
Trust me, they are taking a big risk here by taking. This is basically fenced material. This is wanted cows. This is bad news bears.
Contraband cows.
They're getting 35 gold worth of cows for nothing because I'm asking them. Basically, I'm doing this as a favor to them. They're doing it as a favor to me. We're building up a little more rapport with the Butcher Boys, but this is less like a, hey, we're here to make a ton of money off this, and more like we're making a little bit, you're making a lot, we're improving our thing, and we're helping someone in the process.
Yeah, I think that works.
People of our city got to stick together. Kind of a thing.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. And then she doesn't go to jail. It's all good. Cows out.
There is one other element to this. Sylvie needs you to escort her out of the cliff gate because the Flaming Fist is guarding it, and without your badges, she'll never get past them.
Yeah,
now the cows coming out of that gate in the first place, like the fist, the fist didn't see that happen.
The cows came out of Basilisk, not out of Cliffgate.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but when they exit out of Cliffgate,
I don't know. Do you think it's obvious when 7 goddamn cows emerge from a closed gate that no one's allowed through.
Exactly. So
here's what's going to happen. You and I, Umberto, are going to go distract them, and we are
that's
going
what
to
I was thinking. Is
we are
we
going
have
to
to
set up
distract
some
them
kind of
while
yeah.
they get out, while the cows exit the gate.
And here's the thing: it's stupid as all get out. We're going to have Rhea escort you with the cows, and literally, what we're going to do. This sounds dumb. We're just going to throw a bunch of sheets over the cows and just try and be enough of a distraction to where it's not like we're hiding them, but as long as they don't see a bunch of cows leave, as long as it's just like a bunch of like cow-like shapes leaving with some shepherds.
That is a big ask. It'd be easier for you to say, hey, we apprehended these cows that were illegally in the city. We're deputized. We're taking care of it.
Give me a good idea. I'm trying to do something silly and shenanigan-wise here.
You're never going to get 7 cows covered in sheets past the guards. That is not a thing that's going to happen.
I'm distracting them enough and they don't know the sheets going out.
If you want to try Operation Cow Sheet.
I
propose the sheet plan, and Umberto goes, hey, why don't we just say we apprehended them? And I counter, why are we taking them to tumble down? But that's a better idea.
I would say between we apprehended these cows and look, a distraction, what is the best option here?
I don't know. How likely do you think it is to distract somebody from 7 huge animals walking past covered in white sheets like spooky ghosts?
Oh, I mean, like, fully get them away from the gate, completely unguard the gate while we get the cows out.
Zero chance of being able to get a gate completely unguarded. The guards are there to guard the gate.
Then let's go with the deputized option.
Like, unless you staged a disaster, you'd have to stage something so huge, because even their training isn't to leave. Like, their training is to, you leave and we'll stay here. Like, we send 1 runner, 2 runners, but everyone else stays to guard the gate because you can't leave the gate abandoned.
Okay, here's what's happening. We're gonna make sure that I would say you're better at the deception thing because I roll like crap for that a lot of the time. I'm gonna have oh god, it was
Sylvie.
Sylvie, thank you. I'm gonna have Sylvie in my manacles. We're gonna be escorting her down. We're gonna rope up a couple of these cows, and you are gonna be leading the cows, Umberto. You're gonna be the main talker. I'm just gonna hold on to her and say, hey, we've captured the business end of badness. We have to get these cows out of the city. As you know, Section 5, Article 15 says that we can't have anything over Peacock in the city. We're going to hold them in Tumble Down until we can get somebody out here to take care of them. And then we're going to escort her to the sea tower. We've got this under control. Don't worry. Flash our badges. If they have a problem with it, talk to Zodge. It's above your pay grade and mine. And,
yeah, let's do it. Let's roll that.
Okay. So you escort the prisoners and the cows into Tumble Down out the cliff gate. You talk your way past the Flaming Fist with your badges. You send a messenger to Klim Jasso to send a message to the Butcher Boys to pick up the cows. We'll work out the details of how that money arrangement is going to work out later. Klim will take care of the paperwork and just get you to sign it. Sylvie is grateful. As I'm assuming that you like get her out of the city and then uncuff her and be like, all right, scram, kid.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Sylvie is.
You let her know that, keep an eye out for, and I'll kind of, I don't know, flash a sign of, yeah, exactly.
Oh, actually, we're known in Stony Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good reputation in Stony Eyes. Like, we fixed that problem with the disease, and we fixed the refugee crisis out there.
Dropped a ton of money helping people. Yeah, no, we've done some good.
So we're known. So she might even know us, or at least know us by reputation.
I feel like if we talk about it, she's heard of that, but probably doesn't recognize like specifically the faces.
So let her know that we're always going to look out for Stony Eyes whenever we can. So
and I let her know that I will try and keep an eye out for her there when I'm next around, and we'll see what we can do about making this a little better for her in time. For now, though, this is the best we can do.
Okay. This entire distraction consumes a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, and setting it all up and rounding the cows back up, and
It is now
up all the poop.
Roughly 2:20 in the afternoon between this and all the other mucking about that's occurred. That said, when all that is complete, you are finally free to proceed to Insight Park.
Smelling of cow.
Smelling of cow.
Yeah, so I marked off the 12 gold, and we can talk later, like you said, about what the cow thing ends up being.
Yeah, just hash it out with Klim. Who also, by the way, because you put Klim Jasso in charge of running Joplins, you do not have to worry about hiring. Klim is going to take care of like staffing and all that stuff. And he'll have a report for you tomorrow about what it will take to repair all the damages that you've inflicted on the place. I'm going to say that between the explosions, the spells, the window breaking and stuff, Joplins took 10% damage. So you'll get a report on that tomorrow because he needs some time to figure it out. All right, give me 1 second for this because I actually have a asset for this.
You do? Oh, how excellent.
I do.
Hey, mate, just double checking. Are we still doing a approximately 3-hour time slot and going until 11? Or
Yeah, we're going till 11.
Cool.
That work for you?
It works for me. I just wanted to make sure we weren't going at 12. That's not a problem either way. I just wanted to find out what we're looking at.
All right, it is roughly daytime. Yeah, it's daytime. It's afternoon, so let me give you some better light.
Yeah. Please.
Behold the glorious illumination of the goddamn sun.
Yay. Ooh, this is pretty. I like this.
Yeah. Welcome to Insight Park.
Cool.
Give me 1 moment to pull up my remaining notes on the matter. And to change the music to something more appropriate. There's a particular track from Quest for Glory 5 that I would probably want to play here, but I don't have that. Let's do this. Some nice temple-y music. Nah, you know what? Let's do Cloakwood Forest, something a little more ominous. Just because it's a druidic shrine, not a... Right. Insight Park. Once, this was an illegal junkyard, with locals standing atop a rocky promontory and dumping their refuse over the edge of the embankment instead of clearing the debris away. An old dwarf druid named Toramesh made this his home. He used magic to nurture the local plants, causing a forest of green to grow up over the garbage, rusting away the debris and creating soft lawns and thickets shot through with small recesses and tunnels where the old refuse had piled high. He dedicated this revamped space as a public park, arguing that the poor need to feel nature's touch just as much as the rich patriarchs with their manicured gardens. He lives in a tiny hut up against the edge of the park, which is still known as Dumper's Rock. The main appeal... Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were still giving us cool descriptions.
The main appeal, this is just in case Umbarto's not familiar, the main appeal of Insight Park is the drawing tree. It was planted by Toramesh and it grew to full size in a matter of days. Yeah, it's that thing that you're pointing to on the map. The tree is of a species nobody can identify, and Toramesh steadfastly refuses to say anything about its origins, but everybody knows about its powers. When properly entreated by the druid, the tree's red bark cracks and curls away from the trunk like parchment. You pull it away carefully, it reveals a prophetic scene, rendered in bloody sap. These arboreal visions of the future are often cryptic, yet inevitably come to pass. Much of the city's elite would love to harness this power, but anyone who attempts to peel the tree's bark or force it to give a prophecy reveals only bark and sends the dwarven druid Toramesh into a near murderous rage. For his part, he refuses to accept money. He only peels off prophecies according to the unspoken whims of the tree, or in exchange for bizarre and dangerous favors. You arrive...
the part where you said dangerous.
You arrive at Insight Park. It is mid-afternoon. What would you like to do?
How long has and what was Tiramesh? What was the dwarf's name?
Toramesh.
Toramesh. How long has Toramesh been here, and how long has the park been as we see it now?
40 years.
Okay, perfect. Quite a long time. What would make sense, especially considering it's been like this for quite a while, in his youth, especially when he was first plucked from the alleys of Baldur's Gate Lower City. He would have come here often, and once he was a patriarch, he found out about the no offering money thing because he tried to use his father's favor and whatnot to kind of help things here. Ever since he was young, Darius has been trying to give back to the city in regards to the favor he received by being plucked out from the masses and made the adopted son of the Raven Guard line. And I feel like he would have maybe not a great relationship with Tormesh, but he definitely favors this place and has always tried offering to do some kind of dangerous favor ever since his youth to get a prophecy from the tree, but it was never accepted. The dwarf always told him, "Your time will come one day. Now is not the time." The kind of like that cool cryptic ish. But he's always favored this place. Darius usually comes here whenever he has something on his mind, and especially if he's been wandering the lower city, just doing his programs, trying to help people, bring up the common man, and he'll find himself here where he'll just sit under this tree and just stare at it. And which is why he insisted that merchants from the wide come here. One of his go-to things is like, hey, if you've got a problem, head to the tree. The worst thing that happens.
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
Yeah, the worst thing that happens is nothing, but you may find that there is something amazing waiting for you. And yeah, so he's very happy to come in. Whoa, we're really small. Can I get bigger? I don't know why Roll20's been doing that. It's been making all of the pieces like half size whenever you bring them to a new map.
That's because the grid on the... Oh, you're on mute.
It has to do with relative scale.
+1 experience for the party. Heck yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we got that. Okay. 6329 now.
And yeah, so we enter the park, and I see what appears to be the dwarf, and is that happen to be the merchant from the wide?
Yep.
Oh, it's fortuitous. I'm so happy to be here. Praise be to Ilmater. And I very cautiously approach. I don't want to interrupt if they're talking. I kind of want to hang back and see how things are going.
Okay. She's some distance away from Tormesh, just kind of waiting. And Tormesh has his back to you, and he's staring at the tree.
And she's just hanging out nearby. She's not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is she also staring at the tree?
No, she notices you coming, and her eyes perk up, and she's gonna sort of hasten over in your direction.
Okay, great. Let's talk.
I'm gonna head over under the boughs of this nearby tree.
Okay.
Okay, get some shade. I want to stand in the middle of the walkway there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Rhea can come.
One of you should be able to move Rhea. Yeah, there we go. All right. She will hastily approach, and she has a couple of pieces of news for you. One, she still needs money for the toll in the wide. But two, she sought the wisdom of the drawing tree. She will not talk about what she saw. But
Darius perks up, but you did receive some kind of portent from the tree, though. You did.
Yes. And I think...
So lucky. That's amazing.
Two things. One, I think you need my help. I'd like to come work for you.
Oh. Okay.
Well, we're taking interviews, and you'll need 3 references.
Not to be. I appreciate your candor. What would a fortune teller be able to do for me and my compatriots? Again, not that I wouldn't value any kind of skills you could bring to the table, but well,
what'd you have in mind? What could you? Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, I have the gift of the astral sight of my third eye that could be of a great boon to you in these unknown times, but I also make a mean cup of tea. I don't know if that's relevant.
Blah, blah, the astral sight. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But when she says the tea, I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, I definitely think you could be of assistance. So question. And again, if you could just refresh you wouldn't call it landlord, the
bailiff of the wide, that corrupt piece of crap.
So you said that you'd been there for some time, and it seemed that this charge that you were receiving was kind of was not normal. When
did you piss him off?
I know that you said you had a bad couple of days, but it kind of seems like this compounding interest for these days that weren't going so well for you seems a little above and beyond what should have happened. What did you upset this man? What happened?
Jedrin does as he pleases. He's in with the watch. No, he's got friends in high places. He's got this cushy deal to be the bailiff of the wide. He just collects from anyone he thinks he can squeeze from.
Okay.
I've
been trying to push you out for a while?
Not push me out, just squeeze me.
It just seems uncharacteristic for a business owner to punish you so thoroughly for not receiving business rather than charging you extra when things were going well. It just seems odd.
I mean, he's not a businessman. He's with the watch. It's a guard position. And so in that position, whoever he thinks he can take advantage of, he does.
Right. He's just being a bully.
No, I understand, but it just seems that if you were keeping up to date as things were going well, and he probably could have squeezed you a bit more when things were going well, but then as soon as things are taking a turn, he's going to lose a possibly consistent and valuable client just because he's trying to...
Because he'll find someone else to squeeze.
He'll find someone else to move into the spot.
Yep.
And he'll squeeze blood from the stone on my way out if I can't afford it, because now I've incurred a penalty for not being able to pay that. He'll replace me with somebody else and try to collect my debt to fatten his own purse.
Right. He doesn't need to build a contact and then milk them for all they're worth. He's got plenty of people. He can kick her out. He's got
He's in the unique position of having something everybody wants, so he doesn't have to just, when things are good, I'll take more. When things are bad, I'll ease off. He's like, no, I'm going to squeeze.
He can always squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
As I recall, it was something in the range of quite a bit of gold. Like, are we talking, what was it, 25, 30?
50 gold.
50
gold.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking. That's quite a tidy sum. What if we just happened to collect your belongings, give him a down payment saying the rest will come shortly, and then you just disappear? You come work for us. We have a place that you would be safe, and we could... Again, I know that he is looking to collect on what he believes that you owe him, but if you disappear, this doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to put too much effort into finding you, especially considering he probably just considers you one of the massless faces of the lower city come to his pedestal to deal your wares. If we give him just enough to be able to get your things from the cart... did she leave her stuff there, or does she have her stuff taken away?
She doesn't need that stuff, especially if she gets a new job. Like, she's willing to say, if you just disappear her and let her come work for you, she can't ply her trade there anymore. But again, she believes she has a higher calling now.
I will, I'm going to look at Umberto before I do this and kind of get the sense of if we're on the same page. I'd like to let her know that we recently came into the patronage, the ownership of a business.
She's a fortune teller,
where she'd be able to ply her skills, both in the ability to make her fine teas, and also she would be able to make extra money on the side by giving these fortunes. We could totally have that be a thing that happens.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. The only thing is, I would say let's tell her we will probably accept you. We want to double check with the rest of the group, but almost certainly you've got a job. I'm happy to tell her that.
I'm going to tell her, yes, she has a job. Considering you were trying to drop 10 gold out of nowhere for somebody to give money to, building contacts and getting retainers is something I've been doing on the side anyway.
It was for the children, you nut face.
Yeah, if the rest of the group hates her and we need to get rid of her, we'll figure out a thing, but I have no problem with employing her right now.
Then I'm cool with it too.
I think what our offer should be is...
I love how we're social distancing right now with her, by the way.
I pulled up my Crevane mask whenever I interact with somebody that isn't in my special circle.
Mascot.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not my party, I put the mask up. Anyway, I'm thinking what we can work out is, unless you already have something in mind, mate, we would probably just pay for her living expenses and then add her to our retainer list, and then she can make extra money on the side doing her fortune telling at the business as well.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you don't collect any share of her fortune telling money, you can pay her at cost.
Just she works for us now. Yeah, we don't even have to pay for her living expenses, right? She's our employee, right?
You can living expenses is less than wages. So if you're just paying living expenses, you're paying for like room and board, but you're not paying it. basically she's working off of tips that she gets from plying her trade.
We pay room and board. She does tea in exchange for that, and then we allow her a place to do her normal business, and that's what the exchange is, right?
Right. So she's taking her lifestyle needs are taken care of, the bare bones, and then whatever else she wants, she can tell fortunes, and you don't take any of that in exchange for paying her lower wages.
If that's okay with her arrangement, that's what I'm shooting for.
All right, cool with that too. And then I guess we say, is there anything else you feel compelled, or that you want to tell us about the fortune you received that you feel like we need to know? Otherwise, we'll see you at work on Monday, kind of the thing.
You should speak with Toramesh. He's waiting for you.
Okay, I asked her if she wouldn't mind hanging out here for a moment, just because we'd like to escort her back. Things are kind of crazy right now.
Yeah, there's like cows and stuff. So,
mad cows running around. It's a pandemic, as they say. Okay, that sounds amazing. And personally, I'm very happy we can help her. I'm happy she can help us. And
let's go talk to Torbjorn.
I will very slowly approach Toramesh and stay a little bit away, just because I'm kind of used to giving him his space, and I just hang out and wait until he acknowledges me. If it turns out that it's going to be quite a long time, we might do something instead. But I usually just hang back a bit and then wait until he is ready to interact with me. I defer to Toramesh. I'm very respectful of him. I really respect what he's done here and the grace that he's brought to Baldur's Gate through Insight Park.
He ignores you at first, but he's muttering under his breath. And now it starts. And as he says that, there's this cracking sound as a huge sheet of bark peels away from the tree of its own accord, like almost a small tapestry peels back. He walks forward, he gracefully takes it, pulls it away, and sets it on the ground before you. May the gods help us all.
Ah, shit.
He sits on the ground in front of us. I drop to my knees and just stare at it. I'm like just intently looking to see what I can see amongst the parchment.
I thank him. I say, thank you, and peace be with you, kind of a thing. Like I wish you well and good health, and if there's ever anything you need, we're at your service. Yeah. And then I'm gonna start trying to read the thing.
All right.
Oh man, I forgot to ask, just because I see that Darren's hurt. When I take a short rest, can Darren try and recover health levels through a short rest?
That's a great question. That's a great question. Because we only have like 20 minutes left, unless we get into a fight, let's cover that later.
Copy that. I just realized it by seeing him or something. I'm like, wait a minute, he should be able to do it too. But yeah, not important right now.
All right. I just realized something I want to do. So give me a moment. You know how I said that the images are painted in blood, right? Or not blood, but like this bloody red sap.
That's what tree blood is, yeah.
I'm going to see if I can get you an approximation of the image that awaits you. It is like the Beirut tapestry. It's this huge scene.
It takes up this whole square, right? This whole square in front of me. It's enormous.
Yeah, it's at least like 2 feet by 3 feet, if not 4 foot by 3 foot, something along those lines.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So give me a moment. I'm going to see if I have a handout for this.
While our dungeon master is looking for a handout, just wanted to say that I think between all of us here, we're having a great time sharing our adventure with everybody who tunes in. We really appreciate those of you who have been dropping disadvantage, giving us treasure, and just in general, making sure that we make it through an encounter with healing boost or all the fun little things that you guys share. So thank you guys so much for coming on this adventure with us and for both imposing and lifting us up as part of this. It's been a blast.
Aw.
Oh,
we appreciate it.
No, yeah. All right. It is fun.
You see before you, in a crimson bloody red on this tree-colored backstory, this light brown backdrop, a massive, horrifying scene. Archaic symbols and different imagery is scattered across it. In the center are the spires of El Turel. floating on a broken landmass, collapsing in on itself, bound by massive chains to a sea of fiends waging battle on each other as a river of blood flows between them. On one side, regiments with pikes in stern marching order. On the other side, a frenetic horde of horrors slavering with their tongues and jaws wide, fire streaming from their hands as they just pour like an endless tide towards the phalanxes of fiends, all battling across a river of blood beneath the chained city. Above that city is a red eye, a great orb, a dark star hovering over them. And above that is a winged figure whose shadow spreads across the entire battlefield. Blood streams down from her eyes. On one side of her is a vast shield, golden and beautiful, but its eyes smolder. The face emblazoned upon this shield, it is a glorious radiant object, but the eyes of it are burning and the mouth is twisted and slightly cruel. On the other side is a beautiful shining sword, out of reach of the winged figure, glowing bright. And above this all is the upside down visage of Baldur's Gate's skyline itself, as if it is the next to fall into this scene. The tapestry has countless details on it, things that you could probably study for hours, but that is the majority of what you see, and this is an approximation of the figure who stands over all of it.
I look to the druid and to my warlock companion, and I ask them if they know what this... Well, I've studied fiends a little bit as well. Would I be able to try and make a roll to see if I come across this at all?
Yeah, you could roll religion or arcana.
It doesn't matter either way. Oh, 16.
16. That...
I want to remind you, I speak Infernal. I have looked into this quite a bit.
The iconography, missing a hand, vast wings, bleeding eyes. Yeah, this is...
Definitely looks like a fallen angel, for sure.
This is an archdevil. This is an archdevil. You think this is the archdevil of Avernus, who rules over the first circle of hell.
You don't say. That's the name of the movie.
Roll credits. Can I use knowledge religion to identify any other iconography? That would be helpful to me.
Roll it.
Really?
12.
I was so close to a 22. So
Okay. Yeah, Zariel, Duchess of Avernus, leader, like one of the most important figures of the Blood War, the eternal conflict between demons and devils. That's probably what's depicted below what looks like El Turel is the Blood War going on.
The eye, does that look like, from my knowledge of El Turel, is that the companion?
Yeah, but it's not the way you remember it. It's not the second sun, burning away the undead. Something's wrong with it.
And mate, is there anything in this? I aside from the obvious, the big player stuff on here, I'm peering around looking to see if my father is any sign of a raven, a family symbol, a person, anything like that.
Okay, roll an investigation check, Matt.
Since my
and roll a perception check. Roll a perception check for Darren.
Since he has a big connection to the Raven Guard line. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
He is really into our druidic companion here. He keeps just staring up at him. Like I'm like, no, look down here. Do you see Dad anywhere? And he's like,
He's like, "There's a
Tormesh is
squirrel in
cool.
the tree. I'm gonna eat the squirrel out of the
You
tree."
can spend like a short rest analyzing this thing to find greater detail to re-roll your check.
Are we? I look up to. Okay, can you drop the name one more time?
Toramesh.
Toramesh. Can you drop it in chat or in our chat button?
Yeah.
Just so that way, because I should know this.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at Toramesh, and I put just the tips of my fingers on the edges of this. Wouldn't be a parchment, but whatever we're calling the sheet that was written.
The bark, yeah.
Are we allowed to take this with us?
That is the tree's gift to you. It has nothing to do with me. Take it.
Okay.
Is this thing is huge, and is it malleable at all, or do we have to keep it like hold it up? Like
you can roll it up into like a long scroll. It's fragile, but it was alive recently enough that it can be harvested like that.
Okay.
I want to put this up on the wall in our place. Yeah.
I have a scroll case. I'm gonna roll it up and put it in my scroll case.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hell yeah, I bought a scroll case. Man.
Nice.
I looked at Toramesh, and I know that we have kind of a a not great history. It's not bad, but I greatly respect him, and I don't think he cares much for me. But I approach him, and I don't know much about Druidic culture. I look between because Umbarto's a bit more keen on the religious aspects of things than I am, but I just take what I've learned from Ilmater, and I bow to him and give him the sign of Ilmater, and I just thank him. I know that I go on that I kind of stammer. I know that you don't decide these things. I know it's from the will of the. This means so much to me, and this is a horrific, terrifying portent of things to come, but it helps immensely, and I'm honored. Thank you.
Save your thanks. Whatever this huge portent is, go forth and do the will of nature. The tree would not so speak to you if a great deal were not at stake. That's more important than any of this fussery-bussery.
Absolutely. I completely agree, Toramesh. How are you, by the way? It's good to see you. It's been a little while.
He looks at the biggest portent the tree has ever given, and he looks to you making small talk, and he does not respond.
I grab Darius' shoulder, and I'm kind of like gently steering him, like, "All right, let's leave." And I'm like, "If you ever need anything, rough times are coming. If you need anything, come call us."
And as Umberto is just gently pulling me away, I go, "Of course, you're right, absolutely. Hey, if you ever need anything, a drink, want to come chat, Joplins, head on over to Eastway. We'd love to have you, sir. Anyways, like I said, big fan. Goodbye."
No, senpai.
Hey, don't simp me. I respect this man. I don't want to.
Oh, you're kind of simping right now, man.
Hey, don't kink shame my adoration of respectful dwarvish roleplay. All right. I love dwarves. They're awesome.
All right.
Why you and Crowtown get along so well?
Dude,
I mean,
oh, absolutely. I have like, well, you know how you're like racist against tieflings? I specifically I give dwarves the upside on everything.
He stands dwarves. All right, you return to the city streets of Baldur's Gate. That interaction took like 20 minutes total. Because you did a lot of talking.
Head towards Joplins and get the lady set up.
Yes.
And then, yeah, what's her name?
Joe. Did you come up with that?
Her name is Nebra.
Nebra.
She's also from the Baldur's Gate City Encounters handout.
As in this right here, NEBRA? Nebra?
Yep. Or, no, sorry, Sebra. It's an S. Sebra Mildred. I will post it in chat.
Are we looking at... Damn it.
Sebra Mildred. No H.
I didn't know if you were an H kind of fan or not.
Valid question.
Era, you know?
Valid question.
Awesome. Dude, that is freaking exciting. So I think as we're walking along the way, we kind of go over the specifics of our arrangement, and let her know that, hey, we're just starting out. Things are going to get, bigger and better and uncut. It's going to be fantastic. I'm thinking we start her just under the average and we work our way up as things improve. We're not going to let her be squalid or anything, but like this is the lower city. People are used to kind of, not being super, super hot, and we will definitely get there. This is one of those things like, hey,
And she can definitely, like, if we give her good or what is it, poor living conditions? What's
I
the
think it goes
average
squalid
this way?
or moderate,
Poor.
upper, and then aristocrat or whatever.
Yep. It goes up from poor to modest. So squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy.
Yeah. So we're going to go stage 2 and promise that eventually stage 3 will be a thing.
Oh, and also, just with her own fortune telling, she can probably kick herself up to stage 2 already.
Yeah.
Up to stage 3.
So,
Just kind of
so I'm not going to let you keep her at squalid. That's awful.
no. We
Modest.
were saying,
okay, a gold a day.
I was shooting for poor, and we work our way up to modest. Is what we're going
Right.
for. We're
All right, 2 silver a day.
Okay.
And we're also thinking she can probably pay her way to modest already. Just by doing fortunes. She can probably, if she wants to upgrade it by herself, she can do that. And as soon as we start making more money, we will upgrade her if possible.
I'm doing less of it. It's possible, and like we're getting started out. Hopefully this doesn't become a sink or swim thing. Right now, I'm not even taking a pay cut. Right now, I'm just pouring all my money into this business. You know how it is when you first open a restaurant. You take losses for the first year, and then you start making it good. We're going to make sure that you are kept in house and clothing and room and board and all that stuff. You're going to be fine, and the money will come. You'll be taken care of more comfortably as time goes on.
Yep, I agree.
All right. No encounter occurs, even though enough time has passed for an encounter. So what would you like to do? You are in Insight Park, and we have about 8 minutes left.
Let's make our way back to Joplin.
Yeah, we were just heading back over to Joplin's, right?
Yep. It takes 10 minutes to do the crossing from one city district to another.
I'd like us to stay along the docks of the wharf. Do we, first of all, actually, no. I'd like us to just do a quick little aside around the low lantern. Yep.
Yeah.
But aside from avoiding the low lantern, do we notice anything weird out and around the docks or anywhere nearby?
Well, you heard a rumor that a ship burned to the waterline and sank in the harbor like a few days ago, but outside of that, no.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Hey, I turned to Umbarto when we passed by on almost our way to Joplin's. It's like, hey, you know what we should try and do? We should take a quick little aside at some point and see if we can go, through the wreckage of that ship we burnt down of Captain Deadeye's and see if there was anything we missed on there. We didn't really do any searching or anything. There might have been some stuff on there. Like,
I imagine we're probably not the first to think about that. It may have already been picked over, but yeah, I'm willing to try that.
I mean, it's entirely possible, but at the same time, I don't think that there's a whole lot of operations where that would be a very obvious thing. They wouldn't want people poking around in the harbor to specifically do that.
And honestly, I'm not looking forward to swimming in the harbor water.
Oh, I don't know.
But we can check out the wreck. I'm cool with that.
Anyway, just a thought.
I'd even do it now if you want.
Do we have time to do it now, mate, in the last 8 minutes before we sign off?
How are you going to do that? It's underwater.
Yeah.
Is it right off the dock?
My thought is I have a crap load of, I'm a very hardy fellow. I can just strip down to my skivvies, make sure that I have Umbarto cast a light spell on one of my items, and I would just swim down to the depths. I could hold my breath for a long time, and I would just poke around for a while and see what's down there.
Okay, I'm going to charge you an hour of time to do the whole thing because shipwreck exploration is actually very complicated. A quick survey would take half an hour, but like doing just surveying the outside would take at least half an hour.
Yeah, I'm not really surveying. I'm going into the captain's area, figuring out where as a rogue, I seek where the money would be. I just go directly for the place where I believe the money would be. If it's not in the captain's quarters, I'll check a few areas that would kind of make sense. I'm not going to, I think this guy was just a pirate, which of course they would do some smuggling. So I would check the areas that would make the most sense. Like you said, taking up to an hour to probably put some time into this.
Okay.
Then I'll support him, hauling him back up onto the dock each time he needs air, all that kind of stuff.
All right.
I bring just enough daggers that I can hold. I have like a bandolier full of my throwing knives and stuff. Um, I'm not skilled in fighting underwater, but I know that uh, piercing objects aren't as bad down there as per se trying to use a hammer or a sword. So I feel comfortable being able to defend myself if a big fish happens to make its
Do you know
way.
what's extremely efficient against things underwater?
Fire.
The optic.
Yeah.
Do you want to hold your breath down there, dude?
Do you want to come with me?
Let me check my con. I got a +2. I got a 15.
Dude, yeah, come on down.
Okay, who's gonna be topside?
Rhea, in
Rhea?
her armor,
Okay.
in her badass, she's gonna stand over all our clothes while we're naked.
Oh no,
Okay.
we're close to Joplin's. I think we'll drop our stuff off at Joplin's that we don't need, and then she'll keep
Yeah,
an eye out.
that's better. And then the poor fortune teller lady isn't
Just left
just
walking
sitting
around,
there. My new bosses are swimming around naked in the bay.
Yeah, we drop her off, get her
Mhm.
situated. We the plan is we leave our money and most of our things. We bring just enough to take care of ourselves.
Mhm.
And yeah, we head on down, and I point out I mostly have Umbarto on Overwatch to make sure that nothing gets me, and I have him do a little bit of investigating. If I go, hey, I think there's something here, give me a hand.
I'll do my own search as well, but I agree that that you're probably going to be the more efficient of them.
All right.
So-
Both of you roll Constitution checks, investigation checks, and perception checks. And your investigation and perception are both at disadvantage because it is difficult to see underwater.
And
Even
it's
with his light spell.
it's murky,
Even with a light
cloudy
spell, it's
water.
sediment. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Actually, as a question, does the sewer empty into the bay or into the river? Okay, so this is yucky.
It's pretty.
Well,
it's
it's
pretty
being
gross.
so diluted that it's probably not like just.
Oh wow!
All right, a 7 on your Constitution check. Darius, let me get one from you.
Natural one.
All right,
you jump in the water and instantly take a mouthful of water
and just start
into your-
choking and have to be hauled up.
Here's the thing. As per the rules, you have a number. You have 1 minute plus a number of rounds equal to your con before you even have to start making a check.
This is an abstraction to turn this thing into a skill challenge.
I understand. I don't know what the actual rule is, but yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yep. So you end up having to be hauled in and have some of the water like smacked out of your lungs, which causes a whole thing.
Okay.
And it's more about how gross the bay is than it is about the actual skill of swimming. Like, I mean, the sewers are emptying directly into this, and so you're swimming in poop, and you caught a whiff of it the moment you hit the water, and you're like, ah! So you retch for a little bit.
Yes.
All right. So as you're doing that, somebody comes over and sees you just like blah, 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 coughing out water. Just like not a piratey, but like
I'm gonna roll a stealth check. I don't think I'd be making such a huge mess.
Roll a stealth check at disadvantage because you roll a natural 1.
I'll take it. Sure.
Roll it.
25. There you go.
Wow. Okay. So somebody
I
like
breath, but I know how to do things carefully.
you die quietly. Somebody walks by, thinks they hear some coughing noises, shrugs, and walks on.
Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. All right, both of you roll perception checks at disadvantage. The hawk is not going underwater.
No, absolutely not.
Perception or investigation? What was that?
Perception first.
Oh, not bad.
13.
All right. A 13 and a 9, and finally roll investigation checks.
Again at disadvantage?
Yep. 10 and... Ooh,
11.
an 11. All right. So your investigation takes a while.
An hour, right?
It takes an hour, and it's start and stop. It's really hard to tell anything down there. It's not like you can just go down and scan it. Like you're pushing through, and you're like, okay, this is this part, this is this part. You have to go up for air frequently, blah blah blah. It looks like the place has already been picked over. You're not sure by who, by what, etc.
Remember, we didn't kill all his crew, right? So his own crew may have come back and been like, oh, let's see if we can salvage any of that,
It's possible.
And there's street urchins who probably dive for stuff whenever people throw things over the dock or whenever, pick up a couple coin,
I think you're making a lot of assumptions considering how much you made this out to be Poop Water Bay. So.
I mean, it is Poop Water Bay, but people still there's an ecosystem there, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
And there might be giant crabs. Yeah. So.
Giant enemy crabs.
Okay.
Okay.
So we find nothing.
You find nothing, and as you come back up for air on the last pass, you have to tug a couple of times to get the assistance you're looking for, because like Rhea's been hauling you back up. And when you get up there, you push yourselves off onto the docks. Rhea's got her hand on her sword as three rough and tumble figures have blocked off your way back into the city. And we are going to end our adventure there for the day. So, GG everybody. Thank you, chat, for participating with your treasure, your advantage, your disadvantage. Umbarto still has advantage. He hasn't cashed in. Tune in next
I'm holding on to that.
Tune in next time when we find out who these sinister figures are, what they want with our heroes, and when the next time that Crozin will be eating anything is. So, thank you for joining us, and have a great day.
Take care, everyone.